Welcome to Board Game Empire. We're going to be showing you a brief how to play, how to set up, and full playthrough of Dusk of Gearheads, correct?
I think so.
This is the base game, and it does come with 2 other decks. I will suggest playing with all the decks once you learn the game, because it does get... with just the one deck, there's only like 5 or 6 different characters. It looks like a lot of cards, but it's all the same 4 or 5 characters. I don't know how many, but so to make the game more interesting, I would suggest adding the other decks. But as you're learning, you may want to do. We're just playing with the one deck that right now, but definitely in the future we will play with the other decks. And then they did send us the other box. There's an expansion box that has 3 more decks that you can add. So you could technically play with all the decks, which would make it way more... way less repetitive and more...
replayability.
Yeah, more like... you would have so many different cards that were coming out. It would definitely make it a better battle game. But this is just to teach you, so we're only going to be playing with the one basic deck right now. So you start out with... And it is only a 2-player game. You have your realm here with 5 gear cards. Basically, it's kind of like the store. That's how you look at it. This is the remaining gear cards that you will be replenishing at the end of the round. It comes with a player A card and a glossary card. It does come with really cool player mats. These are the really nice, I think, neoprene mats. I love the artwork in this game. It's really, really cute artwork. Both players start out with the same 10 cards. They're called the Cosmos cards. They're all the same. Basically, what they're used for is they have the Omni's power here on the left, the little circle. That is the Omni's power, and that can be used to match any other symbol in the game. So it's what you're doing. It's a battle game. You're matching. There's 4 different symbols. And you have to match the symbol that's you're being attacked with to offset it. The Omnis, however, it's kind of like a wild, I guess you would call it. It represents all the symbols. You use these to mostly purchase cards from the realm, but you can use them to attack with because they do have a power. So the main thing to remember in this game, you're attacking and buying with powers, which are on the left of the card. You are defending with weaknesses on the right of the card. As long as you remember those general rules, it will not trip you up in this game. We were getting tripped up on that for some reason when we were practicing. I don't know why. But the mechanics it took us a little bit. But once you get it down, it's just remembering powers for buying and attacking, weaknesses is for defending. So there's, like I said, several different cards, and they all have abilities on the bottom. Those are optional. When you play the card, you can activate the ability, but you do not have to, in both your attack and buy phase. You do have the option to activate that ability right away before the card does its action. So, like this one, she doubles a power in play. She has the Omnis on her, but you can double a power in play. Any power that you have on your mat at the time, you can double it. So you could use that in attacking, or you can use it when you're purchasing. She comes in handy. This guy, the Papyra, you can swap the top card of your despair pile with the bottom card of another despair pile. So the despair pile is what is given when you're attacking. The way you gain despair is if you cannot match every symbol the opponent is attacking you with. And in this game, it's to your advantage to not win and match all the symbols, because the object of the game is to get 5 weaknesses or more in your despair pile. When you do that, you've won the game. We're just playing the one dominance, and you've won. They are counter cards that come with the game if you want to play best out of 3. Have a 1, 2, and 3 and a 0 on it. You just turn them if you win and the person that gets to 2 first wins. For the purpose of the videos, we're only going to do as soon as someone reaches dominance, they've won. So the way you do that, say Anthony and I were battling, and I attacked him with 2 Omnis and the Ingenuity, which is the green diamond. But she doubles a power in play, so I could technically double this, make it 3. And say he played Paphyra, which has 3 of those Ingenuity, and he doesn't have any other cards to play. Well, he still has to go against these 2 Omnis that he didn't defend. So what I do at that point, I have to give him the number of cards that he didn't match the symbols for. I have to take off the top of my draw pile and put it in his despair pile. If you were using the counter, you would place it on top of the counter, but you just turn this sideways. He now has 2 cards in his despair pile that he can maybe resolve later. Right now, they would be worth nothing because there's no weaknesses on the Cosmo cards. But once these start getting mixed into my deck, for instance, this one right here has 4 weakness. So if it happened to be these 2 cards, there's 1 weakness on her, 4 on him. Say those were in his despair, and he decided at the beginning of his next turn to resolve his despair pile, he would win the game because there's 5 weaknesses on there just has to be a total of 5 weaknesses or more on all the cards in your despair pile. So you're going to kind of want to wait a little later in the game once you know more of these are mixed in. I will say though, if you pull the despair pile and it does not have enough weaknesses to win, those cards are destroyed from the game. So the good thing about that is, he would know that I have less cards with possibly no weakness or low weaknesses, and it's going to make it a higher accumulation of cards with weaknesses on them, so he has a better chance of winning. Hopefully that makes sense, and it will make sense once you see us playing the game. So the gist of your turn is each player plays through all the phases, and then the next player goes. So first, you would skip this on the first few rounds because no one has a despair pile. But the first thing you do on your play, once you have a despair pile, is you can choose whether you want to try to resolve it or not, which means you're going to count how many weaknesses and see if you think you can win the game. Then there's the buy phase. You basically place your cards on your player mat. You can activate the abilities right away if you want. And then you use them. Then you can use the same cards that you use the abilities for to purchase cards in the realm. Right now, if I play these, I have 3 Omnics. So they're wild, basically. So I can purchase, and you compare those to the weakness count in the realm. If you didn't have Omnis later on, you have to match the same weakness symbol. So that is wealth. Or you can, only in the buying phase, if you have, you can trade 2 for 1. So you could use 2 of any other symbol for the 1 wealth. So there's 4 symbols. There's finesse, ingenuity, wealth, and Omnis. Again, Omnis, 1 for 1 of any symbol. But if you don't have any Omnis in your hand at that moment, you could use 2 finesse, 2 ingenuity to buy this one with 2 wealth on it. That would be expensive, but you could do that. So you can trade 2 for 1 of any other symbol in the buy phase only, not in the attack phase. So any cards in play after the buy phase are discarded into your discard pile. If you have any cards left in your hand, you can choose to attack your opponent if you want, or you can just finish your turn. Then it goes to the, if you did play any cards, those also get discarded. Any cards in your play area get discarded. The only cards you keep are the cards in your hand. You are welcome to discard any if you want. And then you draw back up to 5 cards. Or if you did have attacked someone and you had to give them some cards from your draw pile for their despair pile, you subtract those cards from the amount of cards you get to draw for your hand that turn. And another downfall of this, of being attacked, you will start with less cards. If you defend yourself, you will start with less cards on the next round on your turn to play. So there's 2 reasons not to try to match all the symbols. 1, you don't want to deplete all your cards. And 2, you do want to get those despair cards and get as many as you can. That's the name of the game. You win by having 5 or more weaknesses in your despair. So it's in your benefit not to match the tokens, actually. Or the symbols, I guess I should say. Did I leave anything out? Okay, so we're going to start the game. We have our 10 Cosmos cards in our hand. We draw 5 and put the other aside as our deck. Okay, so do you want to go first?
Ladies first.
Okay. Okay, so basically all we're going to do right now is get as many cards as we can from the realm. So she's a good one. There's no ability on these Cosmos cards. So I'm going to purchase her. She goes immediately into my discard pile. I got 1 for 1. She had 1 Omnis weakness, and I have 1 Omnis power. Okay, so, and you don't refresh this until the last part of your turn. So I have 4 Omnis left, so I could purchase any of these cards. This guy, he's the most expensive. Swap a card of 1 or greater weakness from your hand with a card from the top of the realm. So that might be, that's kind of a gamble, and most of the time it did not work out for us. We either got that's because we're only playing with the 1 deck. If you were playing with multiple decks, you would have a good chance of getting a great card, or maybe, but in this deck we kept getting either the same or something worse. But he has a lot of weakness to defend with. I think I'm going to purchase, I have 4 of these. For my buying power, I'm going to purchase these 2 because they have a total of 4 weaknesses, or the wealth. But they have 2 of those ingenuity symbols. So I'm done with my turn. Then I'm not attacking. I don't have any cards. You draw back up to your hand size, and then you replenish the realm. And now it's Anthony's turn.
So I'm just buying these 3.
Okay, so he used all of his as well. Okay, so this is a good one.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Its ability is you destroy the next card played. So that would be a great one in attacks. So I'm going to purchase that one. It costs 2 Omnis, or 2 Finesse, or 4 of a different symbol if you were doing 2 for 1.
2 for 1 deal.
I have 3 left. So I'll get this guy for the Finesse symbol.
So right now the store's 2 for 1 deals aren't happening.
And so we need to shuffle my draw pile.
Okay, so I have 5.
And draw up to 5 cards.
I'll just grab these 2.
Okay. Now attacking.
No.
We will attack eventually.
Well, I could attack. That was my second turn. I only had the Omnis.
Right now we're building up. Okay.
I was attacked with air.
So I'm going to play her to double power and play. So that gets me up to 5. So I have 5 omnis. This one's a good one. You can copy any effect from a card in your discard piles. I'm going to purchase that one for 4. And I didn't really need to copy because I can't purchase anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and attack him. So I only have the 1 card, but I'm attacking him with 1 wealth power.
All right.
What, you're not even going to defend yourself?
Well, take the punch.
So I have to give him 1 despair, so you just put that sideways. I only get to draw 4 cards because I gave him 1 despair. I did that to show what happens in an attack.
Oh, you didn't replenish. So I'm grounding this one for 4.
Okay.
I'm attacking.
Okay. Oh, and that, if he wants, it can destroy the next card that's played. So it's kind of pointless for me to play anything because he can destroy my card. So he has to give me 1 card on my despair pile. I can't look at it. And then he only gets to draw up to 4 cards. Okay. This one, you get to search your draw pile for any card, and you may place that card on top and shuffle the rest. So that's a good one. So I have 2 ingenuity and 2 omnis. I need 3, so I'm going to use all of these, do the 2 for 1, so I can get that guy right there. And I get to draw 5 cards. Yeah, this is a quick game.
Okay, I'm using this 3 to get that one.
Okay. Are you attacking?
Yep.
Okay.
You don't have to discard any cards that you still have in your hand. So it's not like all or none type.
So I have 5 omnis. I'm going to take these 2. And shuffle my deck.
These 2.
Are you attacking?
Yep.
Okay. Right now we just have a high concentration of those Cosmos cards. So I'm going to purchase the balloon and end my turn.
I'm on attack.
You're not going to buy anything?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
So he's attacking me with 1 finesse, and it's you take turns playing. So I'm going to play this one, and I can search my draw pile for any card and place that on top and shuffle the rest. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, the spare pile is the drop is the
This one.
yeah. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Another despair pile with the bottom card of another despair pile.
So he can either pass. Right now I've met his symbols. And he's played 2 finesse. I still have 3. I've still blocked it. I'm not going to waste any more cards, so I'm actually going to pass. Okay, so he played 2 finesse and 1 of the ingenuity. I did not block that. Are you continuing to play? So he's played an omni and an ingenuity that I've not blocked. So he has to give me 2 cards off the top of his draw deck in my despair pile. And then we discard all the cards in play. And he gets to draw up to 4 cards. Oh, no, 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gave me 2 despair. And I am only starting with 4 cards. Okay, so I am going to attack.
All right. I can't defend.
Really? Okay. So you get 1 despair. And I can draw up to 4 cards.
My turn. Grabbing this one. One of these. All right.
Are you drawing up your 5 cards?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to purchase this guy. And that take all my cards. And right now, I've got 3 cards in my despair. He has 2, but honestly, there's a good chance there's no weakness in there.
Now I'm grabbing this one.
Okay. Are you attacking?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to... I'm going to purchase that one, and then I'm going to attack. One finesse. And I can swap the top card of my despair with the bottom card of another despair. Might as well try it. So he defended with his 1 omni. 2 finesse. And I can copy effect from anything in my discard pile.
I can't block that. I don't have the right card.
So I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this effect. I can swap 1 card, a card of 1 or greater weakness, with a card from the top of the realm. And I got a worse card. I'm going to play that Omni. So he gets 2 of my cards in his despair pile. And I only get to draw 3 cards. Okay. That one goes in your discard.
I'm going to resolve.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. He's going to test his luck. This is a push your luck game. Oh, he did it.
Wow.
Wow. I gave him some good ones. So he had, how many?
I had
He had 7 weaknesses in his despair pile. So we're not playing the best of 3. So he won the game. In a normal game, you would probably want to, we're doing it for video purposes. We're keeping it short. But there is a counter card where you can play the best of 3, which you would probably want to do to give yourself a chance. Because it is a total push your luck game. Let's see what I had. I had 5.
You will,
I could have done it and won as well. But many times when we did it before, it was all Cosmos cards in there. So it's total luck in that sense. You have no idea what you've got in there. So that's the gist of how you play this Dusk of Gearheads.
Dusk of Gearheads.
Dust of Gearheads. I cannot remember the name of it. And again, there is another expansion you can purchase, also called Gears, but I can't read that.
I can't see that far.
Anthony will put the product link in the description so you can check them out for yourself. Hopefully this helped you to decide whether this is a good game for you. And remember, there are more decks in the basic game. There's 3 decks. So we were just playing with 1 deck. This game will be way more fun, way more competitive, and unpredictable adding the other 2 decks because it'd be totally different characters. But we wanted to keep it short and just give you the basics of the game. Again, we hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a like. Feel free to leave a comment or ask any questions. We hope you've already subscribed, but if not, please subscribe to our channel and click the little bell because that will give you a notification when we do put out new content. We put out new content almost every day. And we're always doing unboxings, reviews, playthroughs. So thank you again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.